Nigeria is a resource-endowed country. Official statistics suggest that the country has over 44 solid minerals distributed across the 36 states of the country. These natural resources are said to have shaped the country's pre-independence industrialization trajectory, as minerals were both a source of energy as well as saleable commodity. Lending her voice to challenges in the management of Nigeria's natural resources, Faith Nwadishi, Executive Director, CTA and Women in Extractive, says most corruption in the country comes from the Nigerian extractive sector.
Nigeria, we depend on revenue that comes from the extractive sector, especially oil and gas. It's been stated over and over again that over 80% of our income come from the extractive sector. So, in other words, what it means is that every sector is run by the extractive sector. So every money that you get into the country is what is dependent on our budget, and that's why our budgets are dependent on the amount we sell our crude oil. Most of the grand corruptions that we have seen in this country have been in that sector, and nobody is held accountable for all of that. We are not able to pay salaries.
Faith Nwadishi, also speaking on a strong relationship between the civil society and the media, says it is important to integrate the community where mining takes place.
Civil society with media would have to set the agenda. What do we want to see in our natural resource sector? Do we want the corruption to go on as it is? And also integrate the people, the community people, where mining is happening, what is happening there. For instance, in the Minerals and Mining and Mines Act of 2007, there is a tiny provision there that talks about community development agreements. How are those agreements done? All of the people that have licenses in the mining sector, did they go through that agreement to be done? In the past 20 years, I've been talking about having a petroleum industry bill. So look at even this sector that we say oils the wheel of our development. What is really happening?
Meanwhile, Monday Osase, Executive Director, Center LSD, believes that the media report can improve the management of the extractive sector, as it will lead to the transformation of the society.
And by the time you report, it can improve the management of the extractive sector, such that the dividends from it will now constitute what we call the public good that will now lead to the transformation of society. The same way the civil society has a role to play. The distinction, trying to see media differently and seeing civil society differently should not, is not an argument that should be sustained, but that civil society and the media, they are the same. They are working towards a common goal.
Amongst the key findings mentioned is the fact that most of the artisanal miners in Taraba and Ebonyi State operate without mining license, while those in Ekiti State either have mining licenses or are operating through a cooperative permit. It is therefore important to give citizens the right information and for citizens to get involved in the conversation by also holding the leaders accountable to the laws that govern the Nigerian extractive sector. From Abuja, Mavis Ako, Captain TV News.